What's going on, guys? Today we're going to start with our level 1 of cylinders, and before we can even get to a cylinder, we need to talk about circles. Circles are going to be a key element that we're going to be talking about this year, especially when we're talking volume of the 3 different shapes that we'll be doing. The basics that we need to know is how to find the area of a circle. So some main things that we need to realize on a circle is, of course, we have a center. Every circle has its own center. We can find 3 different pieces from each circle. Now, I do want to touch on circumference real quick. Circumference is represented by C. However, we won't really need to be using circumference this year, but if we ever do, circumference we can kind of think of as the perimeter, because we're talking about that outside edge, the outside measurement of how long that is. The things that we really will need to focus on this year is both the diameter and the radius. The diameter we represent with D is the distance across the entire circle from edge to edge, and it has to go through the center. The radius is the same thing as the diameter, just half of it. So it goes from that center to the edge. The key formula that we're going to need is we're going to need to know what is the area of a circle. To find the area of a circle, the area is equal to pi r squared. So that's pi radius squared. Now, if we're ever given the diameter, the way we get the radius, is we take the diameter and just divide it by 2. Now, there's going to be a few times that we'll see pi this year, and most often you'll use pi. The only time you will not use pi is if it ever says use 3.14 for pi. So let's go ahead and jump straight into the example. Example 1, drums. What is the area of the drum head on the drum shown below, rounded to the nearest tenth? So we're going to use our FSS method. So our formula, substitute, solve. So obviously we're talking about the area. So the area of a drum, or in this case, we have to talk about the base. Okay? The base of a cylinder is, if you look, a circle. I know at an angle it looks like an oval, but if we were to look straight up and down, it is a circle. So we know that we're trying to find the area of the top of this drum, which is a circle. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. Now, because it did not specify to use 3.1 for pi, we're just going to go ahead and use actual pi. So we're going to substitute in. We do not know the area. That's what we're looking for. Because we're using pi, we're going to leave in pi. Our radius. So on here, they gave us 14 inches across. Across represents the diameter. So I'm going to take that 14 divided by 2. My radius is 7 inches. So for r, I'm going to put 7 squared. Now the easy thing and great thing about this is all I have to do is just type it in my calculator. So if I hit pi button is right here, right above that caret key. Notice it's blue, so I'm going to hit second pi, and I'm going to put in 7 squared. Hit enter. There's our answer. Now we want to round to the nearest tenth. So remember, tenth is the 1 decimal place after the decimal. So that 3 keeps that 9. So the area of the base of this drum is 153.9 inches. Now because we're talking area, our units must be squared. That's our answer. Alright, let's look at example 2. Miss Navapur bought her favorite student a pizza from Serious Pizza. Now we all know that a pizza is what shape? A circle. If the pizza had a diameter, so remember diameter is across, of 24 inches, so our diameter is 24 inches, how many square inches is the entire pizza? So at this part, it's asking for the area. So same thing, we're going to use our formula, substitute, solve. Area equals pi radius squared. Now look at the key information. Use 3.14 for pi. So when I substitute, instead of pi, I'm going to use 3.14. My radius, okay, they gave me a diameter. And remember, a radius is half of it. So 24 is all the way across. 12 is half of that. So my radius is 12. So I'm going to go 3.14 times 12 squared. Go to my calculator. I'm going to go 3.14 times 12 squared. That gives me an area of 452. Now, it doesn't ask me to go in units, but since it's already been rounded to the 100th, I'm going to go ahead and stop there. 0.16. Now remember, once again, we're talking area, so our units are squared. Just kind of give us a quick refresher. So when we're talking about the area of a circle, we're talking about a full circle here. Area is pi r squared. We want to look for area, so we're going to fill in what we know. Most often pi is going to be pi, but if it does tell you to use 3.14, you will use 3.14. Okay, but if they give you the diameter, you have to find the radius. You cannot solve the area with a diameter. You can only solve it with a radius. So our last example is we're actually going to look at the cylinder. We have to find the area of the base. Now the base, we always teach, is the bottom of things, but the other way that you can look at it is there's two of it. So if you look, there's two of this top and bottom shape. And what shape is that top and bottom? It's a circle. So if I want to find the area of that circle, I know I'm going to do pi r squared. So that's my formula. I'll need to substitute. So it doesn't specify to use 3.14, so I am going to use pi. So pi. Now my radius, they gave me two measurements. One of these is the thing that talks about our circle. This 8 has nothing to do with our circle, so we're only going to focus on this 6. This 8 is irrelevant information at this point right now. So if we look at this 6, we look at what they gave us. This 6 is all the way across our shape, or our base. If 6 is all the way across, that's our diameter, so we need our radius. Half of 6 is 3, so we're going to have pi 3 squared. By solving that, we're going to go second caret, so pi 3 squared, hit enter. Our area of the base is 28.27 inches squared. Alright guys, that is all I have for you for this level 1 video. Make sure that when you did these notes that you go through and you fill out the notes on your own and put them in your journal. Then you can go ahead and start the practice. Once you finish practice, you can take your quiz. Good luck. If you have any questions, raise your hand. I'll come and help you.